Oh yeah, is it Tuesday already? Wow, do we have a fun one today. From popular demand, we have to talk about this twin theory from the Acolyte, whether or not it is real and whether or not the latest trailer might have just given it away. We also have to talk about a possible murder happening in the very first episode of the Acolyte show, and we got a lot of other news to talk about today. Ahmed Best wants to have a Jar Jar show. Just kidding. He wants to have a Keller and Beck show that's John Wick style. It is also the maker himself's birthday, George Lucas. What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? Whew, wow. Already off to a great start today. What's up, everybody? How are we doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? We got a lot to talk about today. This twin theory for the Acolyte show has been going crazy across the internet, and we got to talk about it. A new TV spot for the Acolyte show might have just given us a ton of brand new evidence to support this theory. Possibly that our main character in May that we see all throughout the trailers might be a twin, and one's a Sith and one's a Jedi, or one's a light side and one's a dark side. Not really a Sith, because the Sith are Tenebrous and Plagueis, and right now neither of them should be around right now. So how's everybody doing on this fine Tuesday afternoon? Okay, it's Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday. Am I right? Okay, let's see what's going on, chat. How we doing today, chat? What's up, everybody? Abby, how we doing? Dustin, how we doing? Let's say hi to everybody. Rose, what's up? Kit Fisto in the house. Austin Snow, how we doing? B-Man, what is up? Fearless, Mando United, Zap, what's up? Brandon, how we doing? Ben in the house. Jacob, what's up? Master Jacob. Who'd I miss? Ian, what is up? Rose, how we doing? Jesse, Dustin. I think I hit everybody. If I missed you, just yell at me in the chat. Say, what's up, Mike? Tony, what's up? Lance Sky, how we doing? Nestor, what is up? Okay. Yes, so let's start with this. Starchip66 says, today is George Lucas's birthday. Can we get some happy birthdays to the maker himself in the chat? Happy birthday to George Lucas. I believe he turns, I don't want to get it wrong, actually. Hang on. I believe he turns 80 today, but let's fact check me on that one. How old is George Lucas? George Lucas is 80 years old today. The big 8-0. Happy birthday to George Lucas, the maker himself. Obviously, without him, none of this would be possible. We wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't even be talking about Star Wars today because it wouldn't exist. So huge happy birthday to the GOAT himself, George Lucas. Hopefully, with all the rumors of him coming back to work on some projects behind the scenes, maybe coming back, maybe doing some... he might be coming back in some sort of way. Jack, what's up? How we doing? All right. Let's talk about the Acolyte, okay? I'm going to end this poll. If you haven't liked this stream yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Like the freaking stream. But let's end this poll because I want to start up a new one. And I want to keep starting up this poll because it's a very interesting one to me. The Acolyte, from what I've seen online, has a very, very, very negative narrative around it. The entire Star Wars fandom seems to be split down the middle, and this show hasn't even come out yet. It doesn't start for another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that. In a few weeks, it doesn't start. And there's still already this massive divide in the Star Wars fandom when it comes to talking about the Acolyte. Now, that's because of Leslie Headland, and just the show itself has a very... I don't even know, a very polarizing view, I guess, on the Jedi, on the Sith, in a time period where the Sith aren't supposed to be around. People have their own opinions. So I got to pull this up. Are you excited for the Acolyte? Let's see where this poll ends at. We're going to leave it up for a little while. Just yes or no. Are you excited for the Acolyte? I definitely am. And the more and more I watch these trailers, and the more and more I talk about these theories and all this other stuff, it gets me more and more and more excited for this show. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. Watch parties are going to be great. It's on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. instead of on Wednesdays at 3 in the morning, which is fan-frickin-tastic. They're releasing the first 2 episodes into the movie theaters, seeming like they have a lot of faith in this show. There's a lot to look forward to when it comes to The Acolyte. Honestly, if you watch any of these trailers and say anything other than that looks awesome and that gets me hyped up, I don't know what you're looking at, but the conversation online seems very, very polarizing. So We're going to talk about it. We're going to leave that poll up there for a while. Right off the bat, only 76% of you guys are very excited for this show, which is pretty cool. But we'll leave it up there for a while. All right, let's talk about this twin theory. So the theory, as it stands, is that May, our main character, is a twin, in that one twin is a dark side user and the other is a Jedi. Now, this theory has been since the very first trailer dropped, but it's actually a theory that comes from over a year ago. Now, give me a 1 into the chat if you remember this. About a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, there was this massive plot leak for the Acolyte show, and it was about this little village where there was a set of twins, or actually they weren't twins, because it was an older daughter and a younger daughter, right? So they were sisters. One was older, one was younger. One was too old to bring in as a Jedi, and one was younger, so the Jedi brought them in. And then the older one, eventually becomes a dark side user. The younger one gets trained as a Jedi, and then they have this whole conflict. Do you guys remember that? You guys remember that being a scoop or a plot leak or whatever you want to call it? And now at the time, it could have been true, and maybe a lot of things sort of happened in the background and things changed. But twins is a completely different story. Twins is something that would be mind-blowing. Twins is a very common occurrence in the Star Wars galaxy when it comes to Luke and Leia, of course, being twins from the original trilogy on. Now, this would be a lot different. One is a Jedi, one is a Sith Lord. Now, where's the thing? The latest TV spot has May, a very different look at the character of May, as she is saying to her old master, Master Soul, that she didn't do it and they have to believe her. But let's watch the original trailer. That TV spot I can't seem to find online, but we do have a new trailer called Conflicted, and it's 30 seconds long, and we couldn't watch it last time, but I believe our audio is working this time, so let's watch this trailer. Let's watch this trailer first, okay? It's working.
Who trained you?
Star Wars,
So that's it. It's a very short trailer, but it does give us a good look at this Master Indara versus May fight in this cantina that we've been seeing. Audio's cutting in and out. And it's freezing. Are we good? What's going on? Are we good over there? On my end, it says we have excellent connection. Are we good? It looks horrible. What are you talking about? Are we good over here? We good? We good? We good? It's good? We're good over here? Okay. 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 Some people just said we were freezing. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. Regardless, this gives us a better look at this May versus Indira fight in this sort of cantina looking thing. And honestly, it looks like a pretty badass fight. This is what we see. This is what you saw if you went to go see The Phantom Menace in the theaters. This was sort of like the first look. It was a more extended version of this scene, but it is what you got to look at. And honestly, a lot of people think that Indira is not making it out of this scene. She's going to be murdered by May in this scene. I don't know. It seems like it's on your end then, B-Man, because everybody else seems to be good. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of people think that Indira is not going to make it out of the scene. I'm actually working on a full-on video about this, about Indira dying in the very first episode. That'll probably come out either tomorrow, if not, then, of course, Friday. But a lot of people think that she won't make it alive. Now, let's go back and watch the other trailer that came out a few days before this. Hang on. Yeah, this one.
I sense this is only a small part of it.
Shut up. That's very loud. Why can't I press pause? There we go. Okay, let's watch this trailer first, and then we'll get into this twin theory and why it actually might make sense.
Last night, a Jedi was murdered.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. But that peace is a lie.
Jedi are being hunted.
She was my student. I trained her. Let me be the one to bring her in.
I sense this is only a small part of a larger plan. Some sort of shift to tip the scales. It's time to face the past. Destiny is not decided for you by an anonymous force. If you want to pull the thread and change everything, then pull it.
What are you?
So I mean, if you watch that and you're like, okay, this show looks terrible, I don't know what's going through your head. That looks absolutely incredible. But the gist is that somebody's going around murdering Jedi. That's the gist of this show. That's where the conflict begins. Somebody is murdering Jedi. And it seems like they're playing it off as our main character here, May, this girl right here, is the one killing the Jedi. At least that's what they're making us think. Now, again, we've talked about this many times, and that is trailer magic. It happens in every other Star Wars show. It's probably happening here as well. The only difference with this show versus other shows is that we have no idea about any of these characters or anything that's going on in this show. With like the Bad Batch or Ahsoka or the Mandalorian, we can predict what's going to happen because we know the characters, we know a lot more of the plot going in already, and we just have more information. And with that information, we can tell, based off of these trailers, what's a lie and what's not, what's trailer magic and what's not. This, we have no idea. So some of this could just be leading us one way when the other way is the truth. Like May might not even be a villain in this show. Who knows? But we're being led to believe that she is and that she's murdering Jedi. Now, the very first scene is what is making people think that she kills Master Indara in the very first episode. This scene right here, because this is the exact same location, if I can find it really quickly, where May fights against Indara in the cantina. Oh, right here. So this is the same location as this. It's the same exact location, and from the looks of it, if you zoom in on Indara's lightsaber, it looks very similar to this lightsaber that's laying on the ground right here. So this whole show might start with a murder, and that murder might be one of the main characters, at least as far as we see, one of the main characters being Master Indara. So Carrie-Anne Moss's character might not last very long. Now, she might come back in other episodes for flashbacks, as we see some flashback sequences in these trailers where we see a young Master Soul and a younger Master Indara, but she might die in the very first episode. Could be. That might be a possibility. This is the only really current scenes that we see her in. Regardless, it does look like May is our character who's going around killing Jedi. Now, the twin theory changes everything. The theory is that May is not just one, but a twin of the same character, both being played by Amanda Steinberg, who plays May, and one will be evil and one will be a Jedi, or at least a good guy, to an extent. So let's talk about this. Let's read this article first from Bespin Bolton, and then we can sort of speculate about this. And honestly, I want to know what you guys think about this theory, because at first I was like, no, I don't like it at all. And I actually didn't see any evidence to support that until this new trailer. So this is a TV spot, and sadly, we don't have access to this TV spot. It's not on YouTube as far as I could find, but we do have images from said TV spot in this article right here. So let's read it. Let's just read it. Shadow, what's up? How we doing? Qui-Gon's ghost, how we doing? Okay. Let's read this. Oh, well, you guys can't see that. That's better. That's better. So, new Star Wars The Acolyte TV spot reveals new footage and adds credit to popular twin theory. So these are some of the images from it, where we got our boy Yord up here fighting against the Sith. You also got the Sith Lord that May has been looking at, what could be on Octu over there. And then you got what looks to be the light side version of May down there, but we'll get into that. Okay. As we inch ever closer to the release of The Acolyte on June 4th, new TV spot and clips are dropping every week. And today, the new TV spot released shared some exciting new footage and adds fuel to a very popular theory. The latest TV spot uses much of the same footage as we've seen in previous TV trailers, as Yord, who's played by Charlie Barnett, can be heard saying that someone is killing Jedi, and it doesn't make sense. Master Soul, who's played by Li Jiangsha, repeats lines that we've heard before, where he says, "She was my student, I trained her," before Yord responds with a pretty cheesy quip saying, "Now she's a student of the dark side, an acolyte." So he literally outright says the word acolyte. Now, I explained this in my video from yesterday. Shout out to you guys if you watched that video. The video yesterday, I explained what the acolyte is, what an acolyte is in the first place. And I sort of explained who I think it is and who I think the Sith Lord is. But an acolyte is, plain and simple, the apprentice of the apprentice. That's it. So you have a master and you have an apprentice. The rule of two, the master and the apprentice. However, the acolytes of the Sith are the apprentice's apprentice. Simple enough. Yeah. Okay. So then they just put in the meme of, haha, he said the thing. He said the thing. Yeah. So this is one of the first images here where we see the actual Sith Lord pull out his lightsaber. Now, we just watched this trailer right here. See if I can find this really quickly. Yeah, boom. This scene right here.
Some sort of shift to tip the scales.
So this is our character, May, our main character here, as we can see, with the purple robe dress thingy on. And then we see this Sith Lord standing on the edge over there. And this looks to be Octu, like a lot of people think, but we don't really know. Regardless, it looks like Octu. Now, people were speculating, is this the masked Sith Lord that we see at the end of the trailer? Possibly, yes, no, maybe. And this gives more credit to that theory, too. He pulls out the red lightsaber. So it is most likely the same masked Sith that we see at the end of the trailer. So, following the Acolyte line from Yord's character, we see the shot of May, Amanda Steinberg, approaching a mysterious character on some rocks. We don't see the character's face as May approaches from behind. This is the shot we have seen for months now, but this time it's expanded as the mysterious character now ignites a red lightsaber, pointing towards the character on the rocks being the same masked Sith that we see take on the Jedi in the Forest location as seen in the last trailer. So this is the new twin theory images. This is May in a snowy environment. We have seen a snowy planet in some of the trailers with a crashing ship, and that's where Master Soul is. But this is what looks to be the light side version of May, for at least these people who are very fond on this twin theory. Now, it just looks like May. Honestly, shorter hair, a different outfit, obviously. But this might be just a flashback. But let's read it. We've seen shots in the past of Soul and the other Jedi on a snowy location, but we've never had much context as to why they are there. Sure, the Jedi are there as a part of their investigation, but the new TV show Spot shows that they're chasing Amanda Steinberg's May. We see May running through the snow before she's cornered by the Jedi on a ledge. May proclaims that she didn't do it. Didn't do what? She didn't do it. That she didn't kill the Jedi, asking the Jedi to believe her. Before we see Yord coming face to face with the red lightsaber wielding Sith from the previous trailer that ignites in the Force. So it cuts immediately from this scene of her saying, I didn't do it, I didn't kill the Jedi, to this scene of Yord fighting the Sith in the forest. Again, a lot of trailer magic going on here. We know Amanda Steinberg is playing a character named May, but now that it appears she might be playing two adult characters, seemingly twins. We don't know if May is the good twin we see pleading to the Jedi in the latest spot, or if May is the Sith acolyte murdering Jedi. Both characters are sporting similar hairstyles, and it's their outfit that is setting them apart. The evil May sports a purple robe and dark cloth beneath it, whereas the good May sports more of a combat vest with a lighter, which is lighter in color. The spot also confirms to us that the good May is a character that is paired with a new droid for the series, Pip. This droid right here. And that's it on her belt, supposedly. There's been rumors in the past that Steinberg was playing a twin. I theorized this, not me, but this person, Bespin, I guess, theorized this, that perhaps one of the twins, the one that was due to become Sol's Padawan, had perished, in that May was seeking revenge against the Jedi for the loss of her sister. However, that seems not to be the case anymore, as both twins make it to adulthood. So the motivation at this point as to why the evil May has joined the Sith and is hunting Jedi is still unknown. Oh wait, is this the clip? Hang on. This might be it.
Killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So this is the TV spot. Awesome. I didn't think we had it. Perfect. So this is the scenes we just described. What's up, Alex? How we doing?
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense. She was my student. I trained her.
Now she is a student of the dark side, an acolyte.
Let me be the one to bring her in.
I didn't do it! Believe me!
Star Wars.
Okay, this trailer shows a shit ton. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I'm glad we got to see this trailer because it does do a lot. This scene right here, already trailer magic. This is the same scene we just talked about. Looks like this is the robes of Master Indara. She's dead on the ground. This is her lightsaber. She just died to May in this fight in the cantina. This is the exact same scene we see at the beginning of this trailer. However, it is clearly...
Jedi was murdered.
Not only is it dark, but Indara's body's gone. So now it's like, what do we believe? What do we believe? Who do we believe? What do we do? Who do we, what do we, who? This is dark. It's nighttime. The lightsaber's there. She forces the blade up into her hand. But Indara's body is not there. You come over to this trailer. Oh, where is it? Come over to this trailer right here. It's daytime. Same exact scene, but Indara's body is laying on the ground, and it's daytime.
Someone is killing Jedi.
And of course, Yord says the line, someone is killing Jedi. So if you don't think that trailer magic is a thing, if you don't believe in the magic of the trailers, here is the perfect example. These are two trailers that came out within days of each other. And they both are of the same scene, but both say very different stories. Past and now? No. That wouldn't make sense because it's the same exact scene. It's the same exact scene. She's got the knife in the ground right there, forcing it in. Like, you're saying it could be a past event that happened and then a very similar event happens at the same time? No. It can't be the same lightsaber, same scene, same location. Yeah. But that's not even this is not even the important part. That's just some trailer magic happening, okay? Let's keep going.
Jedi. It doesn't make sense. She was my student.
So Master Sol says that she was my student, explaining that May was his student. And this is again backed up by the other trailer, as we're just jumping around now, backed up by the other trailer when we see a younger version of Master Sol.
She was my student.
Say the same thing. She was my student. So this is young Sol. Let's move this over a little bit. This is young Sol handing a lightsaber to a young May.
Student.
That's May right there. So she was my student. She was my student. We see the two of them fighting in the other trailer. It doesn't seem like this twin theory is holding up. Now, I'm actually going to pull this up because I want to know what you guys are thinking. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this twin theory. I'm not a fan still, honestly. I'm really not a fan. By the way, this is actually pretty great. Still about 80% of you, 79%, the math is not mathing, 79% of you guys are still really excited for the Acolyte, which is great. That number just keeps getting higher. Okay. Do you think, or do you believe, we'll go with that, do you believe this twin theory? Yes or no? What do we think? Are you on the twin theory bandwagon? What do we think? What do we think? I'm intrigued to know. I'm intrigued. Shadow, what's up? The first time we see the Jedi hand over a full active lightsaber is to a fully activated active lightsabers to a kid. The first time we see a Jedi hand over a full. I'm confused. What do you mean? Like when he's handing her a lightsaber? So why is the promo not on YouTube yet? I'd watch that on a loop. They like to do this because obviously this promo, which we're going to watch the rest of it in a second, tells so much. It shows so much. And they want to do this to have people speculating. And they don't want to put it on YouTube because then it's too available, I guess. And they want people to kind of... The more we have to dig, the better it is for them because the more we talk about it. We're having a whole stream dedicated to this one theory about the Acolyte. That's what they want. Master Beckham, what's up? Yeah. All right, so let's go back to this trailer and let's keep breaking it down.
I trained her.
Now she is a student of...
So she says I trained her. And Yord says now she's a student of the Sith.
Student of the dark side.
Or the dark side, I guess. An Acolyte.
An Acolyte.
So he said the thing. Now, this doesn't make me think that there's twins going on here. If Master Soul trained one of the twins, he would know that it's not the same person. He would sense it at least in the Force. He would understand that. So it wouldn't make sense if there was twins going on here, that one's evil and one's light side. And Master Soul, the master of one of them at least, would not sense that this is either her sister or not the same person. Now there is another, as Yoda would say. There is another theory. There is another big thing that could be going on here. And it's not twins. But it could be that May is somehow being taken over by the dark side without her knowing. So like every time she goes and murders a Jedi, it's without her consciousness. And when she wakes up, she doesn't know what she did. So it's possible that she really does think that she didn't do it. That's just a crazy theory, but it could be the case. Could be. Star Wars for Life, what's up? How we doing? What do you guys think of that theory? Is it possible that May could be blacking out during these murder sprees, and then when she wakes up, she really thinks that it wasn't her? That's why she's pleading here in this trailer. It wasn't me, it wasn't me. I didn't kill those Jedi, even though it technically was her. I don't know. To me, that honestly seems more likely than them being twins. That's just me. No, that's not a good theory. Well, thanks, Fearless. Thanks. I don't think this twin theory is a good theory either. A body shifter? No, more so like the dark side takes over her body to an extent. Or somebody else does. Regardless, it's just a theory, just a thought, just a thought. I can't have thoughts anymore. I can't have a thought anymore. Let's go back to the trailer. May is the grandmother of the Martinez twins. Oh my God. Okay. Then we see this Sith that has been mysteriously eluding us for the last million years, it feels like, pull out a red lightsaber.
Let me be the one to bring her in.
So Soul is saying, let me be the one to bring her in. So they think that May is doing all these murders, and he's like, let me bring her in. Let me do it. I can do it. Let me do it. I'll do it. And it seems like the Jedi are like, yeah, you do it.
Bring her in.
I didn't do it!
And May says, I didn't do it. Do we believe her? Do we believe her? Clearly it has a different look here. Again, could be trailer magic to make her look different. Who knows? I mean, what planet could this be? Could we be going back to Hoth or Ilum or something? That would be cool. Could be just a new planet, regardless.
Believe me!
She says, believe me. We actually get a very close-up look here.
Believe me!
She looks very different. I must say, she looks very different. Let's try and get a side-by-side here if we can. Or at least a close-up of both of them. Where is... Okay, this is a pretty good one. So you got a darker looking side version of May. She's got a mask over her face. She's got longer hair. Her outfit is darker. She's got some like bamboo armor on her chest or something like that. I don't even know what that is. But then when you look here, she's got what looks to be Poe Dameron's jacket, shorter hair, and no mask. So is it two different people, or did she just cut her hair and change her outfit? What do we think? What do we think? Maybe the twin theory is right and her twin sabotages her. But here's the thing. If this whole twin theory is correct, then where is May? If Master Soul was May's master, then why does he not know where she is? Did she leave the Jedi Order? What's going on? Jesse, what's up? How we doing? It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, let's keep watching. Honestly, I think Yord's a goner here. I think a lot of the Jedi who are in this forest with this dark side user are going to die. As we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Jedi here. 8 different lightsabers. Blue, green, 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 yellow, 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 blue. We see 8 different Jedi here. They're probably either all going to die or the majority of them are going to die. And is not looking good for our boy Yord here. Unless something crazy happens and somehow he escapes, it does not look too good for him. It's not looking good. But that's the trailer. Let's watch it all the way through one more time, just so we can get a full-on feel for it. And then let's talk about it. Let's talk about it as a class, okay? I'm very far behind on chats. I understand. I'll read them all. Don't worry.
Someone is killing Jedi. It doesn't make sense. She was my student. I trained her.
Now she is a student of the dark side, an acolyte.
Let me be the one to bring her in.
I didn't do it! Believe me!
Star Wars.
So what's actually really interesting to me is the line that Yord says. Not only because he says the word the acolyte, but he says it so nonchalantly. Like,
I trained her.
Now she is a student of the dark side, an acolyte.
now she's a student of the dark side, an acolyte. Like, that's just a thing that happens. Supposedly, according to Kiadi Mundi, the Sith haven't been around for 1,000 years by the time of the Phantom Menace. So why is Yord just like, yeah, she just became a dark side user, you know, an acolyte of the Sith, no big deal. Like, that should be the biggest deal ever to the Jedi. People becoming dark side users should be a big deal. Should be. Now, it's possible that May just didn't work out with the Jedi. She didn't want to be a Jedi. And then she shows up as a Sith, and they're like, what the hell happened there? That's a possibility. But if Master Soul trained May, and then she's going off murdering people? Yeah, he didn't say Sith. No, he didn't say Sith. You're absolutely correct. He didn't. But he said acolyte. And an acolyte of the Sith is somebody being trained by a Sith or from the Sith texts to become a Sith. They're training to become a Sith Lord. And he's not concerned about that? He's not concerned about that at all. Doesn't seem a little bit concerning. Their Jedi are being struck down, murdered, seemingly a lot. The Jedi cover it up? I actually think they do. I think they do. I think the Jedi will cover this up and people will lose their minds, and I'm okay with it. So let me ask you guys. Let me ask you as I pull up the chat. Let me ask you guys this question. If there are Sith in this show, meaning not only just Acolyte, like possibly May's character is, but also this red lightsaber wielding, mask, creepy, smiley face looking. If he is a Sith apprentice, like Darth Maul was in The Phantom Menace, if he comes into contact with 8, if not more, Jedi and they survive, would you be okay with them covering it up? Would that be something that you can live with? What do we think? The Sith being around 100 years before the Phantom Menace, and the Jedi know it. The Jedi know it. And not only that, they keep it under wraps and tell the next generation of Jedi that they haven't been around for 1,000 years. We know the Jedi have been around for 1,000 years. The rule of 2 goes into action, I guess, whatever you want to call it. The rule of 2 happens 1,000 years ago with Darth Bane. That's why they think the Sith are gone, because they go into hiding, having there be only 2 Sith Lords for generations and generations and generations. That's why the Jedi think that the Sith are gone. They never leave. Ever. But to show themselves to the Jedi and then keep that under wraps, that's a different story. And I think we are going to have very differing opinions when it comes to this. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it civilly, I might add. Let's talk about it civilly in the chat. All right, let me scroll up a little bit here so I can catch up on these chats. Let me start about here. Fearless says, does no one really remember when they first announced this show all the way back at Star Wars Celebration, they said that it was twins. Why are we even speculating? They said that at Star Wars Celebration? I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that at all, Fearless. Do you have any video of that or something? Send it to the Discord if you do. And by the way, guys, if you are not in the Discord yet, there's a Discord in the description below. To the people who love Star Wars, go join it. Zap says, younglings trained with lightsabers younger than that? What? Oh, you're talking about the fact that Soul is handing her a lightsaber? I get you. Jack says, so did the Jedi kill May's sister, supposedly? And then May goes to get revenge when Soul tries to arrest her for killing Jedi? No. I mean, that is some people's theory that the twin died, and then May has to go dark side to avenge her twin. I don't think that's what's going on here. No. If there's twins, they're both alive. According to this trailer, they're both alive because they're both adults. Yeah. Qui-Gon's Ghost says, I think the writers have mentioned it's a sister as well. Where are you seeing this, though? Where is the evidence? I need facts. Alex says, yeah, it seems like he is there to pick her up and take her back to the Jedi Temple, but he casually gives her an active lightsaber, LOL. Well, yeah, I mean, they give all the younglings lightsabers. Yeah. That's like Moon Knight? What do you mean like Moon Knight? Oh, Moon Knight, like he falls asleep and wakes up and doesn't know what he did? That's true. That's true. Yeah, Moon Knight doesn't know. That is valid. Yeah. Dinosaur, what's up? Don't worry about it. I appreciate you. Friggins says, if it's not sisters, then why the Frozen reference? The Frozen reference? What are you talking about? Ian says, who said you were allowed to think, Mike? Oh, damn it. You got me there. Qui-Gon's Ghost says, I would rather have an enemy own it and not be like, hey, I blacked out and people are dead. Just let her be badass and evil. Okay, I agree with you there. I want her to be a villain, but I still don't, I'm not fully on board the twin theory. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and it's like plain and simple, they are twins. But it doesn't really make sense to me. Why have May be a Jedi who leaves the Jedi Order? Her twin sister just happens to be murdering Jedi, and Master Soul just happens to know where she is, and she's like, I didn't do it, but they're chasing her through this snowy ice mountain, and she's running from them? Why run? If she didn't do it, why run from the Jedi? Why run? So the Acolyte is some sort of rank in the Sith. Yeah, it is. It's below Apprentice, pretty much. They're like, think of Asajj Ventress or Savage Opress in the Clone Wars. They're not Sith. Palpatine and Dooku are the Sith Lords. The rule of two states that there can only be two. And Palpatine's the Master, and Dooku's the Apprentice. However, there are others, and that is Asajj Ventress, Savage Opress, and they are the Acolytes of the Sith. They worship the Sith. They are training to become Sith, and they wield the red lightsaber. They're the Acolytes. Yeah. I have Bad Batch withdrawals. I am missing the Bad Batch, I must say. The weeks and weeks of predicting and breaking down the Bad Batch. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. The only thing I don't miss about the Bad Batch is waking up in the middle of the night and ruining my entire sleep schedule for like 11 weeks. I don't miss that. Yeah. Ian says, maybe Yord kills the good May, which kicks off everything. You think they kill the good May when they go to confront her? I don't think so. I think what kicks off everything is this one big murder, and it's Carrie-Anne Moss's character, Master Indira, being killed by May in one of the very first episodes. Yeah. Jay says, maybe the twin theory is right, and her twin sabotages her. But what's the point? What's the reason? Why would the twin do that? That's the missing piece here. Why is the biggest thing? Why? Why would the twin, first of all, if she becomes evil, that's just a whole other thing. She can become Sith, whatever she wants to do. Why is she trying to pin this on her twin sister? What's the point of that? You know? Mando United says, I am back on the Bad Batch again I'm back watching the Bad Batch again from the start on season 2 now. Might have to do that. Jeannie from Tahini says, I think the twin theory fits Star Wars a bit more. There is a concrete story for a younger crowd, while using twins allows a metaphor to symbolize for the adults. We have seen the twins happen many times throughout Star Wars, and it would be sort of poetic or, I guess, natural for them to do another show with twins with this May character. I don't know. I just I'm missing the why, and it's really pissing me off. Yeah. Maybe she left and she didn't want to be a Jedi anymore. So you're saying that May got taken into the Jedi Order and then left because she didn't want to be a Jedi anymore. Actually, that brings me to a good point here. In this trailer, yeah, perfect. Right here. When the witches are a whole nother thing, and this is a whole nother thing, but the witches is where May comes from. The coven of witches that we see throughout the trailers.
It's force. If you want to pull the thread.
Right there. So this is a May with shorter hair, but this just looks like a younger version of May. Again, this is just the back of her head, so we don't really know. But regardless, this does look like a younger version of the May character with shorter hair. So maybe it's the twin, maybe it's not, who knows.
Pull the thread.
But again, shorter hair here. In what looks to be the same forest that the Sith Lord is in. She also has handcuffs on. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. It's possible that the Jedi from this TV spot so we know that Yord, what's this character's name again? Like Jecki or something like that. Jecki.
I didn't do it.
So Yord, Jecki, and Master Soul are all on this snowy planet to come capture May, and she says she didn't do it.
Believe me.
However, they still bring her in. From the looks of it, they bring her in, and if you guys can't see right here, there's binders right there. She had handcuffs on at some point. It looks like she got out of them, and now she's trying to kill Jackie. Again, this is all just speculation. This is all just trying to piece this all together. She has shorter hair here. It looks like she'd been taken in by the Jedi, put in handcuffs. So it's possible that this is the same character. She was just trying to put on a front for the Jedi to believe her that she didn't do it, and then she gets captured and ends up being the villain and trying to kill them. Maybe bringing them to this forest on purpose.
To pull the thread
Hmm.
and change everything.
What's going on here? Big explosion. This looks like a young soul and a younger version of May. Huh.
Change everything.
This looks like the same place where she got taken in as the Jedi. What if this is where the Coven of Witches is from? And then maybe they all die or something, and that's why she leaves the Jedi Order. That's her reason for leaving? Because she wasn't there to protect them? Very similar to like Sabine with the Mandalorians, and her family dies in the Siege of Mandalore, and she wasn't there to protect them, so she stops training to be a Jedi with Ahsoka. It's so much information just being processed in my brain right now. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I cannot wait for this show so we can get all these freaking questions answered. Whew. And then you get the Sith Lord at the end. So there's a lot, and I mean a lot going on here.
Decided for you by.
So it seems as though, yeah, that hang on. Stick with me for a second here. Stick with me. Hear me out. This is the Coven of Witches. May, at least as far as we know, whether she's a twin or not, is from this Coven of Witches. That much we know, because when Master Soul comes to bring her in as a youngling, where is it?
My student. She
is one of the Coven of Witches.
my student.
I trained her.
So she takes her from the witches and trains her in the ways of the Jedi. Fast forward. We see her talking to
If you want to pull the thread.
said witches again at a much older age.
Want to pull the
Maybe this is the evil twin. Who knows?
thread.
And then somebody blows up where the witches are from, or where they live, or whatever this is. This is the same location of where the witches are.
And change everything.
This is it. And it's burning to the ground. Look at the background. Look at the background. See how it's like that? Like boom, 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 boom. And then look at this background right here. Boom, 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 boom. It's the same location. So the witches, the Coven of Witches' home, or what looks to be their home, is being blown up by somebody. Maybe it's the evil May, twin version. Maybe it's somebody else.
And change everything.
But it looks like Master Soul and a young version of May are there to watch it happen. So May's whole family dies. She gets taken away by the Jedi, and it doesn't work out. She doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. She just doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. Maybe because her whole family died, very similar to like Anakin Skywalker when he joins the Jedi. He's not there to protect his mom. Then he's like, I'm going to become evil and Darth Vader. And that whole thing happens. But something similar could be happening here, because this is somebody destroying the witch's home. Because this is their home in the background blowing up, as you can see
Decided for.
right here. So now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting somewhere. And the evil version of May is wearing what looks to be a very similar purple robe as the witches. As you can see
Is not.
right here. Whew. Did you follow that? Are you with me so far? Are you with me so far? Whew, there's so much going on in these trailers. It's absolutely wild. I can't wait. This show's going to be amazing. I literally can't wait. But let's keep reading some chats, okay? Tony says, Mike, I had to go out to get some pizza. Just got back. That's awesome. Can I have a slice? Can I have a slice? I do buy the theory that May is one of a pair of identical twins. The Star Wars yin and yang scenario. I I'm coming around to it. The more and more we talk about it, I'm coming around to it. Qui-Gon's Ghost says Vanestra Rowe is going to dip in and save the day. I actually don't think so. I think she will be in the show, obviously. She's in the trailer. But it seems like she's the one who's telling Soul what happened. Somebody murdered somebody, and it might be your former Padawan. And Soul's like, let me go be the one to bring her in. I don't know how big of a role Vanestra's going to play in the show. Yeah. Why do I feel like the Acolyte's going to be really bloody? I do think it's going to be more of a mature show, so to speak. Somebody's murdering Jedi. Does not seem like you want to show your little kids that. No. No. Ian says, the Jedi do seem to lose interest in anyone who doesn't pass the trials. Yeah, the Jedi shoot themselves in the foot. 100%, time and time and time again, until it finally bites themselves in the ass when Palpatine rises to power in the Senate and the Chosen One leaves them to join the dark side. So all this years and years and years and years of the Jedi being at their peak and then turning into soldiers in a war by the time of the prequel trilogy led to them losing the Chosen One and really led to them not noticing an evil Sith Lord rising to power right in front of their eyes. In Palpatine. Yeah. Anthony says, yes, Mike. What are the differences between the Sith Acolyte and the Acolyte of the Beyond, besides definite Force sensitivity? Some of that group experience Force visions. Yeah, so some Acolytes just worship, like the Acolytes of the Beyond, just worship the Sith. So they don't technically have Force abilities. That's sort of the difference. Now, some of them probably do, but they're just not trained with it. Yeah. If they don't mention the Sith at all in this show, then it would make sense. I guess, but when you fight, it is tough. It is a tough line to sort of walk on. When you fight a red lightsaber wielding, creepy mask looking character in a forest, you might, and you get absolutely smoked. Like, these 8 Jedi are getting destroyed by this Sith Lord in the forest. You might think that the Sith might be back. Or at least you'd look into it a little bit and not just cover it up and be like, nah, that never happened. Nah, that never happened. Come on. I don't know. Yes, they do, Mike. They must. If that's the case, it shows the Jedi's corruption. But that's the problem, Zap, is some people see the prequel trilogy as the peak of the Jedi, and they don't see the corruption that happens in the prequel trilogy with the Jedi Order. They love the characters of Yoda and Mace Windu and Ki-Adi-Mundi and Obi-Wan, and they don't want to see them as the bad guys. And they're not the bad guys, but they're just so corrupt and dumb that they didn't see a Sith Lord rising to power in the Senate right in front of their faces. Even Count Dooku says to Obi-Wan right in his stupid face that there's a Sith Lord running the Senate. And Obi-Wan's like, nah, you're wrong. Like, they had to get there somehow. The Jedi have to become that corrupt at some point. Qui-Gon saw it, Dooku saw it, and I'm sure many other Jedi before saw it, and we might be seeing that happen, or at least start happening in this show right here. Yeah. I wonder who the mask guy's master is. Well, that's the biggest mystery. We're assuming that this is the apprentice, so the master is probably Plagueis or Tenebris. But again, this is all just speculation. The video I posted yesterday was all just speculation. We don't know until we see any of this. We don't know who's under that mask. It could be nobody. It probably is nobody, at least nobody that we recognize. And we don't know if Plagueis or Tenebris or any of them are connected to this show at all. We have no clue. Your pal Joe, what is up? We have no clue. So it's all speculation for now, until we see it ourselves. General Grievous, what's up? Snoke and Kylo Ren weren't considered Sith, right? No, they weren't, because Snoke was a clone, or an abomination of a clone, and Kylo Ren was never technically a Sith. So no, they weren't They weren't Sith. The Sith died with Palpatine as he died in Return of the Jedi. And then the Sith comes back when Palpatine comes back in The Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, they're not technically Sith Lords. No. No. Yeah. Oh no, just scroll down to the bottom. Are you kidding me? No. Where was I? Oh, it just went away. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Jack says, I think the masked person is probably going to be this supposed twin. So you think the masked person is the twin? But that doesn't make sense because we see the masked person and May in the same scene. Like, oh my God, that scared the crap out of me.
I trained her.
Now she is a student of the dark side, an acolyte.
So this is like, it can't be this character because they're both in the same scene together.
Dark side, an acolyte.
So it's likely that this masked character is somebody new and somebody we don't know yet. We have not been introduced formally. From now on, we shall refer to him as, I don't know, the Joker? Something with a creepy smile? I don't know. Smiley face man? I don't know. Let's give him a funny name. Regardless, he is not May. So even if the twin theory is true, it's not the same character. It can't be the twin under that mask. Yeah. Ian says, Yoda dismissed Dooku, flat out telling him a Sith Lord controlled the Senate. It was Obi-Wan, but yeah, absolutely, exactly. Like, he told them what was happening, and they were like, nah. Even Darth Maul told Ahsoka, but that was a little bit too late. Darth Maul was like, Sidious is in charge. And Ahsoka was like, Order 66 happens in like 10 minutes. We might want to get this thing going here. Yeah. Anthony says, Mike, I will do an absolute what the bleepity bleep if this show has the Jedi cover up the return of the Sith. Game changer for me. I can understand the Nameless, but this, Interesting. I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it because the Jedi by the time of the prequels are so corrupt and so bad that they are just blind. They're absolutely blind and corrupted, honestly, by the dark side. So they have to get there somehow from being the keepers of the peace, the High Republic, the peak of the Jedi. They have to go from that to the Jedi that we see in the prequel trilogy somehow. Because Qui-Gon sees it, Dooku sees it before the Phantom Menace even happens. Look at Tales of the Jedi. Look at Tales of the Jedi. It's the perfect example. Although it only takes place a few years before the Phantom Menace, 10 or so, some odd years. This show is 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So it's planting the seeds early. Mando United says, I think they will know that the Sith are back, but they won't want to admit it. I think certain Jedi will know that the Sith are back. Like maybe Sol survives that fight in the forest and goes to Yoda and says, look, buddy, I found the Sith. And he's like, tell everybody you shall not. Like, no way, Jose. We are not doing this. That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. Jeannie from Tahini says, sure, I could see the Jedi doing a cover-up. This is the start of their decline into bureaucracy. Exactly. But a lot of Star Wars fans don't see it the same way. The Wizard Cat, what's up, says, yep, becoming a Sith acolyte is not something to take lightly. Exactly. If they know that the acolyte are around, or at least May is becoming a Sith acolyte, that would not want to be taken lightly. Rose says, didn't they do the same thing with the Nameless? Bury and eradicate the knowledge? I do not know. I do not know yet. I have not read that book yet, but yes, from what I hear, in phase 2, I believe, of the High Republic novels, the Jedi are already covering up something called the Nameless. If they cover up the Nameless, why can't they cover up the Sith as well? Very, very true. Catherine, what's up? John says, Yoda and Mace Windu seem to know more in the prequels than they should. Yeah, I mean, Yoda clearly knows something's up in the prequel trilogy. I don't know if Mace does, but Yoda's been around for 800 years at that point, so he knows what's up. Again, 800 years is not 1,000, so he wasn't there when the Sith were around, supposedly. So how does he even know that 1,000 years ago was when the Sith were around? It's just a big game of telephone at this point. Yeah. Qui-Gon's Ghost says a few things. One, maybe an acolyte is a term that the Jedi use for former Jedi who are dabbling with the dark side. And the other thing is, look at how the Council reacts when they are presented with the info of Darth Maul. The Council is bamboozled. That is true, but almost every member except for Yoda and Yaddle and Uriel Poof on that Council, every other member was not alive during the events of this Acolyte show. So if the Sith show up in this show, only Yoda, Yaddle, and Poof, who might not even be in on it, because they might not even know about it, all they have to do is cover it up. And it's possible that they never even know. Yoda is probably the most likely to find out, but even he could keep a secret from the other two. So it's possible that Yaddle and Poof weren't on the Jedi Council at the time and weren't informed of this Sith Lord's appearance. And the other Jedi who do know about it in the Jedi Council at the time will just keep it a secret. That's how I see this going. And I think it's going to be met with a lot of backlash from the Star Wars fandom, but over time we'll realize that this is what actually happened. This is how it went down. We were okay with it in Tales of the Jedi, but as soon as they do it in live action, it doesn't make sense. What? I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can I get some good cups, follow orders in the chat, please? I'm losing my voice today for some reason. I can feel it start to go, you know? Straining my vocal cords. Jack says, I tried the Discord, but it didn't let me type in it. What? It's a public Discord. It should be good. I don't know about that, Jack. I don't know. Send me like a DM or something. I'll try and help you out with it after the stream. The General Grievous says, at last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we will have revenge. That's true. That's what Darth Maul says in The Phantom Menace. Revenge on what? Revenge on who to the what now? You know? Chris, what's up, says, good afternoon, and hello there. Just got in, had a doctor appointment. What's the topic? We're talking about the twins theory for the Acolyte, but we're also just talking about the Acolyte in general. What do we think is going down? Who do we think is going to what? Why do we think is going to who? Where do we think is going to why? There's a lot in these trailers that remains unanswered for now. Yeah. Friggin says, Headland said it's Frozen meets Kill Bill. Oh, I do remember her saying that. Yeah, I do remember that. So the Frozen aspect, they're being sisters. Interesting. Yeah, that is a good point. That is definitely a good point, and a good sort of piece of evidence towards the twins theory. Were Anna and Elsa twins or just sisters? I thought they were just sisters. Regardless, they could just be sisters and maybe not even twins. Could be a sister theory type deal. I don't know. Here's the thing. We can't really sit here and say for sure anything. We can't say they're going to be twins. We can't say there's definitely no twins going on here. For one reason and one reason only. We speculate all the time on this channel about a million different things. Bajillion different things, actually. And usually we are wrong. But that's because we speculate about 1,000 billion, trillion, quadrillion different things. So usually we end up being wrong. I.e., the clone assassin from the Bad Batch. Remember how many of us thought it was Commander Cody, myself included, but remember how many of us, the majority, thought that it was Tech. All the evidence to suggest that it was Tech. The word domicile. Boom. Like there was so much evidence to suggest that this clone assassin was Tech. Turns out, guess what? Didn't happen. Wasn't a thing. So even though there's a lot of evidence today to suggest that there is a twin thing going on here, and maybe just a sister thing going on here, regardless, there's a lot of evidence to suggest one thing. Maybe that is to subvert our expectations when reality is something else. Again, trailer magic all over the place here. We've been even dissecting these characters that we don't know yet, and we've been seeing some trailer magic. So again, we don't know what to expect. We don't know what to believe. We don't know who to believe, and we don't know why to believe it. But we do know that something important is going on here. Somebody's murdering Jedi. Is it May? Is it May's twin? Is it May's twin's twin? Or is it a Sith? Possibly this smiley-faced Joker-looking motherfucker. I don't know. But that's why we're here, to speculate. Yeah. Jack says, Mike, do you react to the show here on YouTube? Yeah, we do watch parties, for sure. We do a watch party we just finished our watch parties for The Bad Batch and Tales of the Empire, and now we're waiting for The Acolyte. We'll do watch parties for sure. Frozen is about a good sister and a bad sister. Isn't Elsa just misunderstood? I don't know. I haven't seen Frozen in like 10 years. When did that movie come out? It's been a while, but you guys will have to recap me on that movie. Ian says, so sisters and someone taking out a serious grudge on a group of people. Yeah, because that's Kill Bill. That's true. So it's sisters. The theory is that it's sisters, possibly twins, but it's sisters. One is a Padawan from Master Soul. She leaves the Jedi Order possibly because her witches, her family, her ex-family all died in a fiery explosion. Possibly. Maybe not, but maybe. She leaves the Jedi Order and becomes, who knows, a pilot, a smuggler. Who knows? She does whatever she wants. But her sister, possibly twin, starts murdering Jedi. We don't know why. We have no idea why. But she does. Possibly working for a Sith apprentice, the Joker-looking dude, and possibly he is the apprentice of a master, maybe Plagueis, maybe Tenebris. Are you with me so far? The Jedi, having some of them been murdered, now have to investigate this. They've heard word that it is somebody that looks like May. Keep that in mind. So Master Soul's like, she was my apprentice, I'll go save her, I'll go do this, it's my job. He goes to find her when she says, it wasn't me. You have to believe me, it wasn't me. They take her in. Maybe she did do it, maybe she didn't do it, maybe she puts a knife to Grecki's neck, maybe not. That's where we leave off here. We don't know anything that happens after that point. But the theory, as it stands, is one twin joined the Jedi and left for one reason or another, and the other twin is now killing Jedi. That's the twin theory, as simple as it gets, because as soon as you pass that, it gets absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy, speculatory, and we have no idea what's going on. That's it. That's the theory. Plain and simple. Now, whether or not we believe that is a different scenario. As this poll sits at 64%, with almost 60 votes in, 64% of you do think, yes, that twin theory is likely, is probably going to happen, actually. Very, very interesting. Now, let me bring up one more thing. We talked about Master Indira possibly being murdered in the very first episode, which I'm working on a full-on video about. But the reason that that is a likely possibility is one scene in particular here. This one right here. So first of all, this scene right here has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Jedi. We see 8 Jedi in the forest. Maybe there's only 8 here. No, it looks like 9. So maybe there's a 9th one in the forest. Who knows? Maybe one of these is May as a prisoner. Who knows? Whatever. Regardless, this next scene is important. This is Master Indara. That's Master Soul behind her, but this is a flashback sequence, or at least a flashback sequence, because this is a young version of Master Soul. Now, this is after the bombing of the witches. As you can see, Master Soul's face is all beaten up and bruised and whatever. And it looks as though Indira is like, whoa, what the hell just happened? She is maybe sensing a Force echo like Ahsoka does in the Ahsoka show or Cal Kestis does in the Jedi games, or she's maybe like tapping into somebody's memories, touching somebody's head. Who knows? Something's going on here, and it happens after the bombing. Now let's find the bombing again here. Oh, was it in the other trailer? It was in the other trailer. Hang on. Was it in this trailer? Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. I was right the first time, damn it. It was in the other trailer. So, yeah, here it is. Right here.
Thread.
So this is the bombing that's happening here. So it seems as though somebody bombs the witches, and then Soul calls in backup, and the backup is Indara. Master Indara. Right here. She comes to see the wreckage, and we see her sense something going on here. I don't know. There's so much going on here, but regardless, these are all connecting tissues. And Master Indara being here in a flashback only suggests more so that she's going to die very soon on in this show. Probably to May being murdered at the beginning of this trailer right here. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's go back to that Indara. Where is it? So again, Coven witches, their home right behind here gets blown up right here, same location. Indara shows up. Soul is covered in dirt and explosion stuff. Indara's perfectly clean. She probably just showed up to come save the day, whatever it may be. And she senses something going on with somebody going on there. Again, more connecting tissue. But I had a point to this. I don't remember what it was, but it had to do with Indara. Damn it. What is it? Indara. Maybe that's why she comes in to kill Indara. Maybe she's killing the Jedi who were at this event. We see earlier on here.
I trained her. Let me be
the
one to bring.
That's not the same location, is it? No.
Let me be the one to bring her in.
I sense a larger plan.
This character right here. This character is only in the show for like about 1 second, or in the trailers at least for about 1 second. And all they do is pass out. And maybe Indara is waking him up. It's a possibility.
Some sort of
because he kind of gets knocked out by the witches here or something. Who knows what the hell's happening to him? He gets possessed or something and gets knocked out. So it's possible that he gets knocked out. This is Master Indara right there, actually, and Soul over there. And this scene is Indara waking him up. And that scene is her waking him up after the explosion. A lot going on here in two different time periods. Like, this is all flashback stuff. This is all flashback stuff to when Soul is meeting May for the first time. Wow. Hang on. I need a long-ass sip of water here. Here's the thing. If there's twins, where is the twin in this scene right here?
She was my student.
I trained her.
If they're twins, and they're both from this witch's coven,
She was my student.
where's the twin here? You know? I don't know. Let me catch up on some chats because I know I'm very far behind. Okay. Could C-3PO become a Sith Lord as much as he wishes? No. What's with my haircut? What do you mean? What's with my haircut? Should I wear it different? Should I wear it like this? It just goes right back up. I don't know what you mean. It looks bad? What? What? Whoa. Damn. I feel...
This is where the fun begins.
Frozen scenario is about two sisters, Elsa and Anna, and they're comparing it to the Acolyte by the Frozen sister theory. But again, that's sisters and not twins. Interesting. Fearless says, Mike, as far as I know, May has been taken in by the Jedi Order. Her sister has not, and they promised that they would protect her village/people, but they couldn't. And that's why she turns to the dark side because of it. Interesting. So you're saying that the Jedi took May, like we see right here, took May, and vowed to protect maybe the witches in this coven and maybe her sister as well.
I trained her.
But they didn't, as we see it blow up here. It's very hard to find all these different... Oh, here we go.
I'm changing.
So it blows up. So the Jedi promised to protect it. This is what you're saying. Promised to protect this place where the witches in May's home. They couldn't. So not only does May leave the Jedi Order because they didn't fulfill their promise, but her twin sister, or maybe just sister, turns to the dark side because of it, vowing revenge to fight back against the Jedi years later, when she grows up and has the ability to hunt down Jedi. See, now we're getting somewhere. When I started this stream, I just said, oh, twin theory, what's going on here? Well, we got a new TV spot where it looks like there's a possible different version of May. That's nothing. But now we're really getting somewhere here. It's possible that in this scene, the Jedi vowed to protect this world as the keepers of the peace. They did not fulfill that promise, as we see it blow up right about here.
I'm changing.
And that's what causes May's sister to go dark side. And then vows to seek revenge on the Jedi and murder them one by one. I like it. I like that theory. I like it quite a bit. And that is very similar to the leaks that we got over a year ago, which is absolutely wild. So is it possible that we're going to see like a Sith Lord come in and destroy that? Like who blows up their house? Who's going in there and blowing them up? You know, that's the big question. The who and the why of it. Gina from Tahini says, the reason? Because May was chosen by the Jedi and the other sister was not. Or she thinks that May abandoned her for some reason. Or her home was blown up when the Jedi promised to protect them. Yeah. Yeah. Sir Gungi says that theory is the alleged leaks. Yeah, but those leaks were from over a year and a half ago. And they really are not that close to what the show looks like today. Because that show is an old village in the middle of nowhere where the Jedi come to protect these people and they promise to protect them. And then they take the kid, but not the older sister. And that so much sounds familiar. But then a Sith Lord comes into town and takes the other sister. And then the village gets destroyed by raiders. And then, like, it sounds similar, but it's very different. Like, extremely different. Without the Sith Lord and without all the other stuff. Like, there was a full-on explained Sith Lord with, like, a description of his appearance in that. And it was not a masked character, not like our Joker boy over here. Yeah. Jack says, so the character talking about the threads and they can pull it is maybe a non-force sensitive sister? No, that's the witch. Again, how do the witches play into all this? I have no idea. And are they able to use magic? Who knows? But it's going to be pretty interesting. John says, twins are common in mythology story types. For example, Jacob and Asu, and Romulus and Remus. True. I wouldn't say common, but they do show up quite a bit. For sure. I hope the snow planet is Ilum. Me too. But I actually wouldn't get your hopes up on that because why would they be on Ilum? You know? Why would May, if she left the Jedi Order, be on Ilum? Fearless says, the Jedi promise to protect people and keep the peace, but they don't. That's why the Jedi are not on the good side for some. Yeah, exactly. They're supposed to be the keepers of the peace, but by the time of the prequel trilogy, they are like just henchmen for the Senate. They're sent to kill people and do all this non-Jedi way stuff. And then they become generals in a war called the Clone Wars. And then by then, they just aren't Jedi anymore. They're just warriors. Yeah, they're supposed to keep the peace, not be soldiers in a war. Yeah. Nestor says, May doesn't have Sith eyes either. She isn't fully evil or fully devoted to the dark side. Sith eyes are an interesting thing. Obviously, Dooku doesn't have them in the prequel trilogy, and even Anakin doesn't get them until, like, the very end. And some characters just don't have them. I mean, the Inquisitors didn't have them. Saj Ventress didn't have them. So you don't really get those Sith eyes until you're kind of along the lines of a master and an apprentice. So you fully consumed, like you said, yeah, by the dark side. But you can be evil and a dark side wielder and be a bad guy and not have Sith eyes. Yeah. This show looks promising. Honestly, sitting here for the last hour and 20 minutes speculating about this twin theory and talking about the show in general has got me more and more and more and more excited. Like, I am so hyped up for this show. I can't wait. Not only just to see a live-action Star Wars show, but to get to see this one 100 years before The Phantom Menace with brand new cast of Jedi, seeing a possible Sith-centered show, because it is supposed to still be Sith-centered. It's called The Acolyte. I just can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait. Yeah. Can't wait. Oh, what's up? Wayne, how we doing? How we doing? The Wizard Cat says, that guy is from Squid Games. Are they going to do a Star Wars Squid Games in the Clone Wars when Dooku arranges the battle royale between mercenaries and bounty hunters? What are you talking about? Oh, I do know what you're talking about with the bounty hunters, with when Obi-Wan goes undercover. Maybe. Jack says, my theory is the sister who is non-force sensitive is the leader of the witches. No. That's like their mom, or at least the mother of the witches at the time. She's way too old to be, because that's a flashback. She's way too old to be her sister. Officer Murdoch says, I guess we just have to be patient and wait for June 4th because we are not getting as much as we need out of these trailers. We're getting a lot of information, but it's hard to piece them together when, again, we've never been to this time in Star Wars. So we don't know what's going on in this show. At the time, 100 years before The Phantom Menace, we have no clue. When you talk about like the Bad Batch or even Ahsoka, we know that time period pretty well, especially the Bad Batch time period. And we kind of can assume what's going on at that time in the galaxy. We can talk about certain events that happen at the same time or around the same time. With this, we got nothing. It's almost a clean slate being 100 years out. So anything could kind of happen, you know? Star Wars for Life says, oh my God, I forgot to like the stream. Are you kidding me? How many likes we got on the stream right now? How many likes? What? Smash a freaking like on the stream if you have not yet. Damn it, just scroll down to the bottom. Rose says, it is kind of sad because growing up, we all saw Yoda, Obi-Wan, and the Jedi as wise infallible, whatever. Corrupt is such a harsh word. They weren't malicious, so I prefer the word flawed or misguided. Yeah, I mean, corrupt is just the easy way to say it. They were corrupted by the dark side of the Force. But yeah, I'm one who grew up on the prequel trilogy. I saw Yoda and the Jedi as like the cool good guys. It's just when you kind of, you grow up and realize that they weren't. they were supposed to be the good guys, but they were corrupted or flawed or misguided, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. It makes me more excited for the 2-episode event. That's also true. We are getting a 2-episode premiere for this show. Not just 1, but 2 on June 4th. So there's only 8 episodes in the show. We're getting 2 of them in the premiere. It's similar to Ahsoka did that, right? Ahsoka had a 2-episode premiere. It had to have, right? Yes, it did. Right? Did Ahsoka have a 2-episode premiere? I think so. Because Sabine gets stabbed at the end of the first one. And then we watched the second one right after. We didn't have to wait a week, right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Ian says, I don't think the Jedi were corrupt, but they had just lost their way and were affected by the dark side of the Force, affecting their abilities, i.e., corrupted by the dark side. What? Is that not the same thing? Is that not the exact same thing? Don't worry about it, Dinosaur. Appreciate you. Bob says, May has a twin. They said it in the, early on in the beginning. Who? Who said it? Who? Fearless says, maybe it was a Sith who destroyed it, and May finds out later after she's already gone to the dark side. Maybe she tries to destroy the Sith in the end. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know if the Sith destroyed the building or the house or the village or whatever it is. I don't think the Sith destroyed it, but somebody did. Maybe marauders or raiders or whatever you want to call them. Somebody destroyed it, and the Jedi weren't there to protect them. That's the biggest deal. The Jedi weren't there to protect them, and that's all that it takes. May's going to see the Jedi as the bad guys now and going to go the rest of her life thinking that the Jedi are the bad guys and try to murder them in the future. Yeah. There were times in the Clone Wars where Dooku had red eyes. Really? I don't remember that. In the Clone Wars animated show? Why do I not remember that? Yeah. Mando United says, yep, I feel way more excited for this show after this stream. I'm glad, because I am too. I'm really excited for this show. I'm getting more and more excited as the days go by. How many days until this show airs? Because it's Tuesday. Is it 2 weeks from now? 3 weeks from now? Somebody pull up a calendar. What is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Sith eyes are interesting. It's based on how much you let the dark side consume you. With Palpatine, he was embodied with darkness. With Dooku, he holds it out to make sure it doesn't consume him. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Because if you let the dark side in, it consumes you and you see the red eyes inside. 3 weeks. So it's 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today is when the 2-episode premiere of The Acolyte drops. That's awesome. That is awesome. Cool. Cool. I'm very curious about The Acolyte. I don't know anything about that time period. Well, we don't really know anything about this time period. We know a lot about, if you read the High Republic books, about 250 years before this, but 100 years? We don't know anything. Really, anything at all. So, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. I want to see Yoda with a Jedi mullet, and I'll be happy. That would be incredible. That would be incredible. The Jedi were the good guys, even though they were flawed. They wanted to do the right thing. They just did not want... She did not want to do evil things. Who's she? But yeah, they obviously wanted to do the right thing. They were just being corrupted by the dark side. Dinosaur says, happy birthday to George Lucas. Also, Mike, how old will you be on your birthday? I will be old as hell. Now, my birthday is May 30th. Like I told you guys before, biggest giveaway on the 30th. At the end of this week, we are giving away a Boba Fett helmet. So for all you members and non-members out there, become a member. It's only 99 cents. You're instantly put in for the giveaway on May 30th for the Boba Fett helmet, which is also happens to be my birthday. And I will be turning... Carry the 4. 22. I'll be turning 22 years young. Yeah, 22. Jacob says, I always wondered about Dooku not having Sith eyes when he did some evil Sith stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good enough definition as any. Just letting the dark side consume you. Dooku didn't want to be a Sith Lord. He just knew that what the Jedi was doing was wrong. That's why he tries to ask Obi-Wan to join him to overthrow Palpatine. That's why Dooku's always sort of trying to plan to overthrow him. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we do have some other news to get to here, and we can go back to the Acolyte, obviously, after, but we do have some other news to get to that I want to talk about before we get on out of here. So let's do it now before we kind of lose our speed here and run out of time. Oh my God, Mike, you're so young. Well, I appreciate that. Nice, 22. George is 80 today. Yeah, 22. True. Yeah. You could be my son or much younger brother. Okay. Okay, I get it. Oh, Officer Murdoch says you could be my grandson. Okay, I'm young. I know. And yet you guys sit here and listen to me talk about nonsense in Star Wars till the cows come home. That's hilarious. That's funny. Okay, let's switch over just for a bit. We got some. Okay, I know. Ian, thanks. So let's talk about, we got some things to talk about. We got Andor news, Ahmed Best news, then we have two other short news stories. So which do you want to cover first? The Andor news, Andor Season 2 news, or the Ahmed Best news? What do we want? Which one do you want first? What do we want? Did you see any of the prequels in the theaters? No. Except for The Phantom Menace, which I saw last week in the theaters. I did not get to see any of the prequels in the theaters. I was too young. So Ahmed Best or Andor news? Let's see, where are we at? Where are we at? Mike, I'll say this. You're much more mature than any of the 22-year-olds I knew. That's a compliment. I appreciate that, Anthony. I appreciate it. Officer Murdoch says, for your young age, you know so much about Star Wars. When did you become a fan? I mean, I don't remember. I was too young to remember. For my whole entire life, let's be honest. But honestly, I don't know as much as you'd think. I just watch it a lot. Watch a lot of videos a lot. I do know a lot about Star Wars, but I feel like there's people who know more than me. I don't claim to know all when it comes to Star Wars. I'm just a guy who loves Star Wars. I'm not a guy who knows everything about Star Wars. All right, let's tally this up. We're kind of split on this one. Andor, Ahmed, Ahmed, definitely. Andor, Ahmed, Andor news, all of them. And all right, I see more Andor, so we're going to start with Andor first, and then we'll get over. Yeah. I saw episode 3 when I was 8, way too young to see Anakin burn to a crisp, LOL. Yeah, that's why I didn't see it in the theaters, because I would have been 3. So, yeah. We are the people who love Star Wars. Wait, we are the people who love the guys who love Star Wars. I appreciate that, Tony. Okay, let's start with the Andor news then. We're starting with the Andor news. Okay? So this is about the character Bix. You guys remember Bix? Cast your mind back to 1,000,000 trillion years ago when we were watching the Andor show. Give me a 1 into the chat if you were here for the Andor show. You were with the channel, like watching Andor. Towards the tail end of Andor was when we started doing live streams on this channel. It was about 1.5 years ago, something like that. So I seriously doubt any of you were here. If I see a 1, I'll be surprised. I can't remember back then, but I don't think any of you were here. Regardless, we probably only had like 300-400 subscribers at that point. So I don't think so. But that was when we started doing live streams, was the Andor show. I don't think we did watch parties, but we did live streams. Regardless, it was a long, long time ago. But we remember Bix. Bix could be getting a bigger, complex journey in Andor Season 2. So let's talk about it. Oh, well, you can't see it. That wouldn't be, that's not very nice. All right, here we go. Andor's Adria, sure, whatever, teases a complex journey for Bix in Season 2. So Adria was recently featured in Empire's Spotlight, a subsection for the latest issue of Empire magazine, in which the actress, currently about to embark on a press tour for a Netflix comedy Hitman, spoke out about her career and some of the things on her horizon. In particular, she talked about her return to Andor Season 2, with which was briefly discussed. So here's what she had to say. I think the creator, Tony Gilroy's, writing is so smart, and wherever people think my character is going to go, it's 10 times more complex than what people imagine. Wow. 10 times more complex than what people imagine? What? Bix's character from season 1 was an interesting character, but honestly, she didn't play much of a role. She was sort of the Andor's friend from home type character, where she was contacting Luthen, or at least who she thought was Luthen. She was contacting Luthen, and that's how the whole thing sort of embarks down the path that it is. But she didn't really play that big of a role, honestly. And she's saying here that people might think that she's going on a pretty big journey in the second season, but it's going to be 10 times more complex than that. So how is she going to really play a role into this? The series ended in a pretty strange way, honestly. It ended on, what was the planet's name? Corvix? No. Ferrix. Ferrix. Yes, Ferrix. Ferrix with Andor's Cassian's mom dying and doing that hologram speech, which was epic. But how did it end? Where did Bix's character end? Does anybody remember? Where did Bix's character end? It was such a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Ha, funny. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't care about Bix. She's okay, but 90% of those characters are forgettable to me. Andor was a pretty good show, but it was not a good Star Wars show. It barely felt like a Star Wars story. Interesting. Are you making me see it again? Yeah, go watch it again. Where did Bix's story end off? Because I'm interested. I'm interested now because 10 times more important. Bix was very damaged at the end. Oh yeah, didn't she get shot or something? Didn't she get shot by some Imperial in the street? No, her boyfriend died or something like that happened. I don't know. I haven't seen Andor in quite a long time. She left with the others in the shuttle. Oh, they escaped. She escaped with Cassian. Oh, okay. So she escaped with Cassian at the end. Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. She was tortured by the Empire. I do remember that now, yeah. And then Andor saved her. Yes, exactly. Boom. Got it. And then they escaped together. Okay, cool. So her role is going to be pretty big in this second season then. So Bix was one of the highlights of season 1, and now we'll get to see her in where her galactic misadventures and her alliance for Cassian Andor takes her next. Production on the second season finally wrapped earlier this year after Tony Gilroy and his team were forced to halt filming due to the SAG-AFTRA strike, blah, 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 blah. So that's kind of it. It was a very short sort of tease from her actress, but regardless, let's talk about this. The Andor show, Andor Season 2, is going to be very similar to the first season where it was about 3 episode arcs, because it was 12 episodes. This second season, every 3 episodes is going to be a different year leading up to Rogue One. In the final scene, we'll be going right into Rogue One. So that means that Bix is probably going to be around for the majority of the show, but she's likely to die at some point. Somehow, some way, she's likely to die. We just don't really know how. But having it be 1 year equals 1 sort of 3 episode arc could allow us to see Bix go on this crazy arc, maybe do some crazy stuff with the rebellion, help the rebellion, who knows, but she will probably likely die, as she's not mentioned or seen in Rogue One. Similar to Luthen and a lot of these other sort of minor characters in Andor Season 1, they'll likely be in Season 2, but they will likely die before the end of it because they're not in Rogue One and they're not in anything else after that. It's likely. That's why Andor's mom died in the first season, and a lot of people actually died in the first season. The, what was the planet called? Damn it, Andor. I gotta go rewatch Andor now. Where they went in to hijack the Imperial facility on Aldhani. Aldhani, thank you. Aldhani, everybody died. Everybody except for Cassian died in that mission. So it's likely that we're going to see a lot of other people die in the upcoming second season as well. Yeah. So that's the Andor news. I must rewatch Andor. I can't remember this much. I know, me too. And it's 12 episodes, so it's a lot going on. So yeah, Definitely have to. Did you pick up the Andor 4K Steelbook that came out recently? I did not. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi show came out with it too. I did not pick up either of those, but I definitely will have to at some point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to now the Ahmed Best news, okay? The Ahmed Best news is pretty wild if I do say so myself. So, Ahmed Best played Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy, but he also recently played Kelleran Beck in The Mandalorian. So this is what we have to talk about here. Star Wars' Jar Jar Binks actor Ahmed Best wants to make a Jedi John Wick with his Mandalorian character. So you guys know what John Wick is? You guys have ever... Give me a 1 into the chat if you know who or what the movies of John Wick are. Do we know? There we go. Mike killing off more characters, LOL. You know what? Yeah. It's hilarious. Yeah, we know John Wick. Yeah. Keanu Reeves, John Wick. Yeah, okay. It seems like the majority of you know what that is. Ahmed Best wants Kelleran Beck to play a Jedi version of a John Wick. Let's read this. Star Wars actor Ahmed Best, who first played Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy, but more recently portrayed Jedi Master Kelleran Beck in The Mandalorian Season 3, wants to make a film that essentially is Jedi John Wick. Speaking to comicbook.com, Best said that his brief appearance in The Mandalorian, where his character helped young Grogu escape Order 66 on the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, was just a tiny fraction of what he wants to make. So he wants to come back. It's whether or not they will make this show or movie or whatever it's going to be. And it's whether or not Lucasfilm actually wants to do it. Because Ahmed might want to do it. And the fans might want it. But it's up to the studio. Tell me in the chat, do you guys want this? Let's keep reading, but do you want a Kelleran Beck style John Wick Jedi movie where he's protecting Grogu? Tell me in the chat. I want to do a Jedi John Wick as Kelleran Beck, and I don't even need to say any words, Best said, referencing the minimal dialogue in the John Wick films. I just want to do 2 hours of lightsabers and people in my way. I really want to do something like that because the fight that I did in The Mandalorian is 1/10 of 1% of what I do, and there is so much more. So he's saying that his martial arts skills and ability to do so would make for quite a cool action movie where he is protecting Grogu, using his lightsaber, being like John Wick, just mowing down people. Sounds pretty cool to me. The Keanu Reeves-led John Wick franchise is known for the non-stop action and stylish combat, which Best believes would lead itself well to the Filipino martial arts-inspired Kelleran Beck. The style that influenced Kelleran Beck is from Filipino martial arts, and nobody really knows very much how deep those arts actually are, he said. Most of the Jedi are Japanese samurai influenced, but the Filipinos beat the samurai and they beat the Spanish. The way they move, the style that they move in, and the weapons that they use are revolutionary. It's so much so that a lot of what Bruce Lee does in Jet Kundo, I don't know, is influenced by Filipino martial arts. So I really wanted to be highlighted through some kind of Jedi story. So he's saying that he wants this certain type of martial arts to be shown in the forefront in a new movie. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Fans will have to wait and see if Best's dreams of a Jedi John Wick will come true, but his return to Star Wars after almost 2 decades was most certainly a positive reaction. That's true. I just want to do 2 hours of lightsaber and people in my way. Yeah, so there's no validity to this except for the fact that Ahmed Best said it himself and he wants to do it, but there's no sort of signs from Lucasfilm yet that this is going to become a reality. But tell me, what do we think? Is that something we would want to see? A John Wick style version of a Star Wars movie where Ahmed Best as Kelleran Beck is protecting Grogu and slicing and dicing everybody in his way? Grogu's story, even though it was explained who saved him from the Jedi Temple, is still a long way away from where he ends up in The Mandalorian. Like, he's got a lot of story to be told. Why is he cut off from the Force if he went off with Kelleran Beck? Why is he using Force choke on Cara Dune if he was never given access to the dark side? Like, what happened to Grogu over the 20-some-odd years from Order 66 to The Mandalorian? What happened? He wasn't with Kelleran Beck the entire time, so there's a story to be told there. It's whether or not we would see it. Yeah. What do we think? I want Old Republic content with a real John Wick as Revan. Oh, with Keanu Reeves as Revan. I think Keanu's still too old to play Revan. I'd rather a younger actor, but yes, I agree with you. Old Republic would be amazing. Yes, but Bob Iger is being more stingy on what he gets greenlit. That's true, but if fans want this really badly, it could become a reality. Even if it's a show, and it's a Kelleran Beck and Grogu show, it's to show Grogu's backstory, so to speak, it would make a ton of money. It would get a lot of views, and people would tune in to watch. I mean, everybody would tune in to watch that. Grogu's backstory on how he ends up where he is in The Mandalorian with a John Wick style of Kelleran Beck. Sign me up. Sign me up. Rose says, yeah, that would be cool. He could also help with the hidden path. Exactly. So you got Asajj Ventress, you got Quinlan Vos now, and you got all these different characters, even Cal Kestis in the Jedi Survivor, but all these characters now willing to help with this hidden path, which is the sort of underground railroad of the Jedi who survive Order 66. He could run into Jar Jar somehow, and they go off on an absolute rampage. I want to see Kelleran Beck and Jar Jar go face to face. Here's the thing. Jar Jar Binks was such a hated character, I guess, in The Phantom Menace that his story was cut short. Like, he was barely in Attack of the Clones. He's in Revenge of the Sith briefly, right? But then we never see his story again. He's in the Clone Wars animated show, but we don't know where Jar Jar ends up. It would be kind of interesting to see Jar Jar show up again in something. Anything. I think the Bad Batch had an opportunity to do that, but they didn't. I wonder if Jar Jar will ever... Do you guys think Jar Jar will ever show up again in Star Wars? Or do you think that he's just been cast to the side? What do we think? Anthony says, Mike, I want Jedi Kelleran Beck with Grogu to appear in both animation in a Hidden Path show, hopefully, and live action in a Mandoverse flashback and maybe even a present-day scene. Ooh, Kelleran Beck in present day would be wild. He survives that whole time would be crazy. But I agree. I want them to probably show up in animation, and live action would be more ideal, especially for Ahmed Best, who wants to play this character and show off his martial arts skills. But animation, I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay. Yeah. Nestor says he's talking about what? A dual stick martial arts. Okay, interesting. Interesting. What a line, though. 2 hours of lightsabers and people in my way. I know. I mean, if that's the pitch to Lucasfilm, how can you say no? How could you say no? It would be weird to see that in Star Wars. John Wick style of action. It would be a little bit different. I don't know about weird if it's lightsabers, you know? Mike, what is your all-time favorite Star Wars project? Movie or show or both? Or just project in general? That's tough. Like a single project or movie or show, it would have to be Revenge of the Sith. But if we're talking show, it's Ahsoka. If we're talking animated show, it's Rebels. If we're talking video game, it's Jedi Survivor. I don't know. That's a tough question. Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. Where's Jar Jar? I always wondered. Well, we're going to see Darth Jar Jar, but that's going to be Legends, you know. Kyle says, I hope my children grow up to be like Jar Jar Binks. Me too. Me too. Yeah, there's a Legend comic where he is homeless on Naboo. Yeah, so that's Legends, obviously, but that is sort of where his story's supposed to end off. He's like a homeless person doing tricks on the side of the road on Naboo, which is not ideal for our boy Jar Jar Binks. Yeah. Yeah. Again, Mike, I want to see Jar Jar as a secret rebel spy and an equal secret architect, co-founder of the Hidden Path. The Naboo ship belongs to Jar Jar. I don't think Jar Jar's that bright to be involved with the Hidden Path, but I'd be all for it. I'd be all for it. Officer Murdoch says, Star Wars could show Jar Jar in another show and give him some interesting content to improve his character to make him more liked. Well, Jar Jar is more liked now. He is. Like, he's come full circle. Like, the people who hated on him were the critics at the time, and some people thought he was annoying at the time. Now people love him. Like, you go and watch The Phantom Menace, he's the star of the show. Yeah. We need more Jar Jar Binks. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Salty, what's up, Salty? Says, the twin theory is plagiarism at best. Okay. Both movie and show. So both, for movie, best movie of all time is Revenge of the Sith. Best show, I say Ahsoka. Yeah. Have you seen the Lego Rebuild show? Yes. We watched the trailer last week or 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah, something like that. How about Jawa? A love story between Pelimoto and a Jawa? I'd watch that. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
This is where the fun begins.
On that note, I think we're going to get on out of here. I really have to pee, and we just got to get on out of here. Let me end this poll. Oh, we did have two other things to get to. Very quick news things. The Phantom Menace is the most watched Star Wars film on Disney Plus ever. Now, that's probably due to it being the 25th anniversary and all that stuff, but The Phantom Menace, and being the first episode, and everybody who goes back to rewatch Star Wars starts with episode 1. The Phantom Menace is the first ever Star Wars movie in chronological order, I guess, is where I was going with that. But it is the most watched Star Wars movie on Disney Plus. Yeah. Which is crazy. Never would have thought that would be the case. I would have guessed it would have been an original trilogy movie, probably Empire or A New Hope. Then I would have guessed Revenge of the Sith. But to say it's The Phantom Menace is absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. But the other piece of news was this. Give me a 1 into the chat if you know what Helldivers 2 is. Anybody? You know what Helldivers 2 is? Helldivers 2. Yes, no, maybe so. Your Daily Memer says, what's better, Clone Wars or Rebels? To me, personally to me, it's Rebels. But I understand why people say Clone Wars. I do get it. Just to me, Rebels has less filler, more killer, and season 2, 3, 4 of Rebels is better than any 3-season arc of Clone Wars. Yeah. Yes, okay, so let's talk about it. There is new Star Wars mods for, what did I just call it? Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2, and there's Star Wars mod. Look at this. Look at this. So Helldivers is like a game where you go on with your friends and you are fighting against like aliens and robots to save the galaxy, whatever it is. But people have modded it to Star Wars. Look, you got Rex here, you got maybe Hunter, or looks more like Wrecker but looks to be like Hunter. Then you got Cody over there. They've modded it to look like Star Wars. Let's watch this. Don't want to get copy struck, so we're just going to watch it without the audio. But look at this. It looks like Battlefront, but like you're fighting against aliens and the separatists. I mean, it looks amazing. We'll go full screen here. It looks so good. Look at this. So my question is, if we got Battlefront 2 in 2018, when was Battlefront 2 released? 2018, something like that. Where is Battlefront 3? Where is any sort of multiplayer Star Wars game? I get it. We're getting Star Wars Outlaws later this year, and I'm excited for it. Star Wars Eclipse is on the way, which looks great. A Knights of the Old Republic remake sounds cool too. Where is the multiplayer games? When we can have mods create a game that looks this good, where is the multiplayer Star Wars games? Not even a Battlefront 3, just a multiplayer Star Wars game even. I'll take any of it. Any of it. But that's how I want to end the stream, is talking to Lucasfilm directly. Lucasfilm, if you're watching, and we know that you are, please give us a multiplayer Star Wars game. Make it good, and make it probably Battlefront 3 if you want to make a lot of money. Hey, Disney, Lucasfilm, right here. If you want money, and lots of it, make a multiplayer Star Wars game that we can play and have fun with. Preferably Battlefront 3. Make it with all the new characters, Ahsoka Tano, Din Djarin, Grogu, the Bad Batch themselves, like everybody. Just bring them all in and make it fun. Don't make it pay to play like Battlefront 2 was on its launch. Make the graphics fantastic and make it amazing. And with that, I leave you all, okay? This was an amazing stream. I appreciate every single last one of you. Let's watch some more of this amazing. Whoever modded this, it's awesome. But with that, I leave you guys. I really have to pee, and this is amazing, and I can't wait for the next stream. Watch out for a video maybe tomorrow, if not Friday, obviously, in a stream on Thursday, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for the rest of your lives. Let's end this poll. Oh, it's at 66. It's going to stay at 66. 66% of you, nice, believe the twin theory, which is pretty wild. Order 66. Dinosaur, I appreciate you. But thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get on out of here. You guys are the absolute best. If you have not yet, smash a like on the stream, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video in my pretty face. I'll show them the recommended feed of yours. If you guys are not yet in that Discord, go join it. If you're not yet a member, it's only 99 cents, the lowest tier, and we are giving away a Boba Fett helmet at the end of this month, so watch out for that. Yeah, the Acolyte is closer and closer and closer, and I can't wait, and I'm sure you can't wait either. But with that, oh yes, and happy birthday, George Lucas, again. Happy birthday, George Lucas, again. Your daily memer, I appreciate that quite a bit. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and may the Force be with you always. Oh yeah, what a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. I appreciate every single last one of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Great rest of your lives. We'll see about this twin theory, whether or not it's true or not, at some point very, very, very soon. And yes, Jay, we will be streaming Star Wars Outlaws when it comes out. You already know it. And good night, everybody.